Alright, well, this is the same road that I always make my recordings on when I do my loop, but I'm going the opposite way today. So I have my notes. Look at that little tiny sheet. That's notes for 3 books worth. Back in the old days, I used to have a full sheet for each book, and it was a full-size sheet, not one of these little tiny yellow notepad. So yeah, I've really started slacking with my notes, but in reality, I just try to release these videos shortly after I read them, so they're still fresh in my mind. And I find that these videos roll off my tongue a little better when I just talk about them instead of trying to follow notes. So with that said, this is my final thought on a book that I read with Nikki. We did a buddy read. So she is going to release her video the same day that I'm releasing this. So when you're done watching this, feel free to go over to Nikki's for Writing for Jesus and see what she thinks of the book. And more than likely, it'll be more detailed than mine. It'll definitely be more professional. But yeah, so anyway, the book that we read together was a cozy mystery. I threw that out there that I was in the mood for one, so she took me up on it. And let's see, the name of the book was Matchmaking Can Be Murder. And this is a Amish matchmaking mystery series, and this is book 1. It was written by Amanda Flowers. Like I said, it was a cozy. It was 336 pages and was released in 2019. I'm gonna let this car go by. No more cars coming. So let's see. Cozy mysteries. Come to realize something about these. I guess I'll possibly talk about it later in the video if I remember. Otherwise, it's a teaser, I guess. I'm gonna let this car go by. All right. So anyway, let's see. Our main character is Millie. She is an Amish woman who's just recently moved back. I think it's Harvest, Ohio. I think that's the name of the town. I have no idea if that's a real town. More than likely it probably is, or if it's just a town in this story. I don't know. But she was taking care of a sick sister. Sick sister passed away, so now she's coming back home. The thing with Millie is she is a matchmaker. So she's really good at putting people together who she feels should get married, couples. And she has decided that her niece, which is Edith, that's her name, Edith is her niece, is going to marry this guy that she doesn't feel is worthy of being married to. And she wants to let her know that she doesn't think that she should marry this guy. So that's how the beginning of the book starts. What happens is when she goes over to confront her niece, that is when the dreaded scene of this poor man who's been murdered in a greenhouse. And of course, her niece is standing over top of him. She walks into it, sees her standing over top of the dead man, and there you go. There's the murder. Now it's up to Millie to solve this mystery as to who killed her niece's fiance. I guess, yeah, I don't want to give too much away. I'm not going to go into the story before that. That is the premise of the story. That is the mystery that she's going to try and solve. She does have a sidekick. Lewis, I guess, is a friend of hers from when they were kids, and she just happened to move back into town as well. So they've been reunited after, I think, something like 20 years from not seeing each other. And that character is quite annoying at times, but she grew on me towards the end. Let's see. The other thing with cozy mysteries a lot of times is they like to have animals, and in this one she has 2 goats. So those are big part of the story. Maybe not a big part, but they're definitely in the book. Yeah, actually they are towards the end too. Yeah, I don't want to give that away. But yeah, so it's just about Millie and her friend going around trying to do the old amateur sleuthing and trying to solve the murder, because her niece looks kind of guilty. And it's a typical cozy, right? What I will say, I enjoyed it because it was a cozy, and I had a blast doing the buddy read, because me and Nikki would read 3 to 4 chapters a night. Then we were texting back and forth after we read those, and it reminds me, I'm old enough to be Nikki's father in real life. I have a son who's the same age as Nikki, and but she has the same attitude as my youngest daughter, who's 23. And we just sat there and just ripped the snot out of this book in a fun way, not in a malicious, like we didn't like the book. I will say after like the second day, we kind of were both like, oof, I don't know, man. But the third day, I think it picked right back up. It's like, okay, it slipped a little bit. What I did notice, Nikki pointed it out to me, and I think this is kind of true of all, well, maybe not all, but a lot of cozies, is that they will throw out information to either misguide you or try to make you think one thing or try to make you think another thing. And then they never touch on that. Like when the mystery's being solved, you've already forgot about it at that point. But Nikki's pretty good, man. She was like calling everything out. She kept asking me this and that, and I'm like thinking, all right, well, I've already forgot all about that. I even told her, I said, that's the difference between a mindset of a writer and just a reader. She's like trying to figure out, like, you remember when they said this, and whatever came of that? And I'm like, well, nothing ever came of it, because I feel like cozies do that all the time. It's okay because they're cozies, I guess. I think it's not frowned upon. But to her point, I guess there should be some closure, but I don't know. In this book, they did it a handful of times, so I don't know. I guess I'm all over the place, because what I was going to talk about was me and my daughter, we will watch B-rated, like, sci-fis or B-rated horror movies and just sit there and just pick on them the entire time. So yeah, this reminded me of that. I actually enjoyed the book. I think what did I say? 3.5 is what I gave it. I really did start to think maybe it was more of a 3.25. I'm going to stick with 3.5, but I will not be reading any more of this series. Mostly, I hope that sun isn't too bad. I don't know. Mostly because I'm not paying for this book. This was on Kindle Unlimited, and I don't know. I don't know what to do with the sun. Sorry, guys. Maybe down and maybe down. I don't know. Yeah, but it's not good enough to keep reading. I'm not going to pay to get the next book. It wasn't that great. I don't know. It was fun. Let's put it that way. The buddy read itself was fun. The book, let me see. I always get this wrong. Is it scratched my itch or itched my scratch? Which one is it, guys? It's like 2 birds with 1 stone, or 1 bird with 2 stones. Remember that whole thing? I'm kidding. I know what it is. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Nikki, thank you for doing this with me. I had a blast. I look forward to doing it again. I think we should try to do something with a Christmas theme at some point. That would be fun. But yeah, go check out Nikki's video. I'm sure it's going to be much better than this. I'm not going to redo this, even though I feel like this was not a really good video. Sorry, they can't all be home runs. We'll let the car go by. I think that's it. I don't really have anything else to add, I don't think. But go check Nikki's video out, Writing for Jesus. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.